Hold tight, everybody. I'm getting everything set up, so just stand by. We'll be starting here in about 30 seconds. Check, check to check one, check two, check, check. Okay, we're good. See, we're at the top of the hour, almost. All right, I think we're there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining. All right, so I wanted to make sure my connections are set up. Today, I'm actually doing something a little bit different. Not only am I streaming live on LinkedIn, I'm streaming live on YouTube, I'm streaming live on Facebook, I'm streaming live on Instagram, and then I'm also streaming live on TikTok. So, welcome and thank you, everybody, for joining. This year, we're going to be learning how to build $1 million business, and we're going to do it in 12 months. Is it possible? I'm not sure, but we're going to give it a great effort and we're going to see how we're going to get there. So let me give you just behind the scenes really quick. I'm going to take you behind the scenes over the next 12 months to teach you how to build a 7-figure business and hit 50,000 new subscribers. So I got two goals here. One is to generate $1 million in revenue. Two is to hit 50,000 subscribers. And I will tell you what that means to me here in a little bit. So I want to thank you and welcome for joining. If you're interested in building a business for yourself, and you've pretty much been a solopreneur, maybe you have a small team and you wanted to know the ins and outs to get there, this is going to be your place to be. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. We're going to learn something together. And then at the end of the year, we're going to do a recap and we'll talk about all the money that we made together. We'll talk about the impact that we had, and we'll talk about the outcomes that we've been able to create. So again, we're going to be building a 7-figure business. We're going to do it in 12 months. A little bit about myself. I'm Patrick Hart, Army veteran, spent 6 years in the Army as a helicopter mechanic. I did 2 tours overseas, one right after 9/11. So during 9/11, I was actually deployed. And then I spent 15 years, actually, I spent 8 years in the mobile home industry. And then I spent another 15 years in healthcare, building my healthcare career. So I went from basically becoming a nobody to becoming an executive for a technology company. And I ended up selling that technology company at the end of 2018. So it wasn't my company. I was just an executive leader. And that actually changed my life. It changed my life in so many different ways. One, from a financial standpoint, right? You see all the money that's in your account. You're like, man, that's dope. Like, I did that. This is something I created. Now, mind you, me, everybody needs to know. I'm listen. I came from a mom who dropped out of high school, who was addicted to drugs, who died at an early age. But one of the things that she did is she loved the crap out of us as a family, right? And so she taught me about hustle, work ethic, and how to position myself and create visibility. So that's why I'm here today. That's a little bit about my background. About 2.5 years ago, this is the beginning of my 3rd year. I decided to be an entrepreneur and bet on myself. So I left that healthcare tech world of being an executive leader and decided to bet on myself to create opportunities, not only for myself, but other people who look like me as well. One of the things that I noticed on my journey rising through the elevation of that corporate career is that so many people get passed over for opportunities for various different reasons. Oftentimes, some of it is visibility. Some of it is not really understanding how to find your voice or how to use your voice. And then some of it is positioning, playing the corporate games. There's a lot of games that come along with being in that corporate leadership position, navigating that round, who to connect to, who should I talk to, what circle should I be a part of, what water cooler relationship should I be building, things like that. So I learned how to do that and ended up navigating my career. And today, what I've done, I created 2 companies. One is PDPMEDIA. That's my media company based off of storytelling to help leaders much like yourself tell their different and better story in such a way that highlights you as that thought leader. The other thing too is I created a newsletter called Health Hustle Chronicles. It's been on LinkedIn for the last year that have grown to about 4,600 subscribers. But now I'm taking it offline to give you the behind the scenes look of what it looks like to build a 7-figure a 7-figure business. And we're going to do it in 12 months. And I can't do it alone. I can only do it with your help. So I want to make sure that the chat boxes are open. At least from what I can see, the chat box is open on my end. So it'll be great if you can drop your first name, where you're streaming from, like whether that's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, or YouTube. That'd be great. And then if you wanted to me to connect with you later, you can slide in my DMs, send me a nice, thoughtful message. I'll make sure to reconnect with you as well. More importantly, subscribe to the newsletter. That's going to be on my QR code. In fact, let me put that QR code up on the screen really quick. The media assets. Okay, so if you're on my LinkedIn, YouTube live, you can see that QR code. If you're on TikTok or Instagram right now, go to my bio, hit on the link, and that link is going to be my Blink account. And that Blink account has all my information, my phone number, all my social channels, my QR codes, the newsletter. The big thing here is I want you to do is subscribe to that newsletter, because again, I can't do this without you. Two goals here. One, we're going to grow $1 million in revenue, right? We're going to do it in 12 months. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to grow to 50,000 subscribers. And again, I cannot do this without your help. So a little bit more about me, and you say, okay, well, Patrick, that sounds great. A lot of people have tried this before. What makes you different? What makes you better? I'm no different, no better than anybody else. The only thing that I've been able to accomplish is fear. A lot of us, we have fear when we're navigating our careers, and those fears prevent us from doing something that we wanted to do. And so what is this doing for me? This is getting out of the fear. This is doing something I've never done before. This is making myself public. And then it's also educating other people who are interested in growing and creating $1 million business. So a little bit about me. You learned about my background. I've been featured on NBC News before. I've been featured in Black Impact Magazine. I've been featured on Marquise's Who's Who 2025. Voyager Dallas Magazine. I'm from the Dallas, Texas area, so I've been featured there. Scholarly Scouts. I've also did a reality show called The Blocks, where I was a contestant on that for entrepreneurs. I did that. And then the other thing too, I've been featured on Black Leaders Worldwide, which I happen to be a part of their organization, which is a great organization designed for Black leaders, for Black professionals who are looking to scale, navigate, and grow through network and collaboration. So I'm a partner there as well. That's just a little bit about me. Again, let me make sure the comment box is open. You're welcome to drop a comment, first name, where you're streaming from. You can also slide in my DMs. More importantly, make sure you get on that newsletter, subscribe today, and then we'll start building this thing out. So let's move on. I want to make sure I have enough time. So the vision. So what is the vision for this? The vision is to paint $1 million business. The vision is to show you that you can actually build something from scratch and create $1 million in revenue. You can do it in 12 months. How is that going to be possible? Well, there's going to be a lot of collaboration. There's going to be a lot of help from you guys out there. And you're actually going to help me shape and design what the future of each one of these episodes look like on a daily basis, right? So we want to grow from $0 in revenue today to $1 million in revenue in 12 months. And then the other goal is 50,000 new subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. My QR code's the top right if you're streaming from LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. And then here's the impact that I want to create right here. We all know that there's some financial limitations, right? If you come up from poverty, if you're broke, maybe you're a mid-level professional, right? And you have a high 5-figure salary, or a low-end 6-figure salary. You may even have a high 6-figure salary. But what we're finding out right now in today's time, is still very costly. And even those people with 6-figure salaries, they're struggling and they're looking for other opportunities for themselves. So what does that mean for you? If we're able to create a 7-figure business, this is going to give us take away some of those financial limitations that we have and allow us to play the game of life at a different level, right? We want to play hard, we want to play fast, and we want to put ourselves in the circles of the people who can influence the outcomes that we're trying to create for ourselves. So one, we're going to get rid of those financial limitations. Two, we want to get out of our own beliefs. A lot of those beliefs is there's no way you can go from $0 in revenue to $1 million in 12 months. It's impossible, right? A lot of us believe that. So with those beliefs, let's see if we can debunk some of those beliefs, we can grow this thing together. The other thing too is visibility. Once you start earning this type of income, it puts you in separate rooms that maybe you've never been in before. What does those rooms do for you? Those rooms create additional opportunities for you to continue to scale, advance, and create impacts for other people around you as well. So that's what we want to do as well. And then the impact. Impact is huge. It's one thing to do something for yourself, but we all should know we're not going to be here forever. At some point, we're going to pass away. And when we pass away, what does our legacy look like? What was the impact that we were able to make? How many people were we able to help? How many people were we able to scale and grow from there, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to increase our financial opportunities. We're going to get rid of the belief systems that you can't scale from $0 to $1 million, because we're going to do that this year in 12 months. We're going to create visibility for ourselves, and then we're going to create an impact that lasts well after we've been deceased and passed and left this earth. So I think that's my vision for growing this, to help educate you, to create some awareness that you can do this with the right systems, the right networking, and the right collaboration. We can grow this from $0 to $1 million in revenue. We're going to do it in 12 months. Let me pause here really quick. Make sure you drop some comments. Y'all let me know your first name, where you're streaming from, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn. Don't forget, you can always slide in my DMs and I'll reconnect with you after this as well. This is the first live for building $1 million business 2026. We're 11 days in, or excuse me, 12 days into this, because it's January the 12th. So we're like 12 days behind, right? But I did this intentionally. One is because I wanted everybody to get past their New Year's resolution. Let's get dialed back in, because that first week of the new year, you're all about connecting with this person, staying focused on your New Year's resolution, this, that, or the other. Now we're 12 days in, we're getting locked in, right? And so now that we're getting locked in on this, now let's jump into how do we build and create $1 million business for ourselves. And I tell you this one thing, there's one secret: you cannot do it alone. Maybe you can if you come from wealthy parents, but generally speaking, it's going to take some high level collaboration, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some high level collaboration. So that's my vision. So what will you see in these lives? Thank y'all for tapping in. I see, all these people tapping in TikTok. Thank y'all for joining. I love you guys. Thank you. Portia, I see you over on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining. And that's all the way from the UK. So, hey, I love the energy. Thank you for continuing to support the content that I put out there. Here's the other thing too, guys. For the last 2.5 years, when I became an entrepreneur, most of my content was inspirational, right? I just created nothing but inspirational content because it spoke to me. Like, I've always led with that servant leadership heart. I wanted to create an impact for other people. So if you go back and you look at all my other content, it was about just spotlighting various things that, the hustle, how we fall short, some motivational tips, things like that. So that's my past content. Here in 2026, it's all about action. How do we create action to develop the lives that we want? No more about motivating you, because, hey, listen, you can get your motivation from anybody else. Today and going forward, this is all about how do we scale? How do we create impact? How do we grow our incomes? Because your checking and savings, it needs to be 6, 7. Come on, we got to make it work for us, right? I think that's out in 2026. So what will you see in these lives going forward? You're going to see, I definitely want to set some expectations, some daily business decision. I'm going to talk about content strategy. We're going to talk about sales conversion. We're going to talk about some of the failures, some of the pivots that I'm actually going to go through over the next 12 months. We're going to talk about some of these networking moves that I'm going to make, to include connecting with some of these top level creators that you pretend to follow. Not pretend, but you follow yourself. We're going to get into some product launches, some of the healthcare leadership, some of the leadership toolkits that I'm going to create, some of the systems that I'm going to show you how to build behind the scenes. There's going to be so much information where I'm going to take you behind the scenes from an operational standpoint. How do we build a 7-figure business and do it in 12 months? And here's a secret here that you need to know. The secret is you got to have the right systems. Okay. Somebody's tapping in really quick. What is your full-time job? My full-time job is an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur 2.5 years. It's the beginning of my 3 years. I pay myself. And that's been like that for going on 3 years now. Nobody pays me. I've been doing entrepreneur work. And with all that entrepreneur work that I've been doing, I've been spotlighted in many different places: NBC News, Black Impact Magazine, Marquise's Who's Who, Board Your Dallas Magazine, Scholarly Scouts, The Blocks, which is a reality show where it was a bunch of entrepreneurs put together to compete against each other. And that was filmed 24/7. And then on Black Leaders Worldwide, it's a LinkedIn organization that have both representation around the world. And I'm one of their partners over on there. What industries are we in? Well, I came from healthcare, but this is designed for any professional looking to scale and grow either their career, their side business, or themselves as a full-time entrepreneur. So welcome and thank you guys for joining. Welcome and thank you guys for joining. I see you guys on TikTok. Thank you. Hey, I see you. Any other questions right there, really quick, before I continue to go on? We're good on the questions. So yeah, if this is you, you're in the right place. Let's get into what will you see. So we talked about what you're going to see. Some of the things that's going to help you grow a 12 or a 7-figure business is going to be AI. Now, AI is one of those things, it can be scary for a lot of people, especially if you haven't dibbled and dabbled using AI yet, right? So one of the things I'm going to highlight you on are some of the AI tools that I actually use behind the scenes to help me scale and elevate my visibility, appearance, and growth across all these channels. One of the things I'm using today is AI, right? I'm using a streaming platform that's going to help me stream across multiple channels so I can get that message out there. We're going to get into calendars. We're going to get into how to properly set up a calendar to keep you motivated, to keep you focused, to keep you on task with scaling and reaching 7-figure business. We're going to talk about visibility. How do you become more visible so people can see you, how you can position yourself, put yourself in the room of other people where not only can they see you, but they can also help you create that impact that you're looking for. So we'll get into that. We'll get into networking, how to effectively network where you're placing yourselves in the room or you're allowing other people in their network to help you so you can benefit yourself and the impact that you're trying to make. So that also flows into collaboration. I'm always open to a good collaboration. So if you're streaming, or excuse me, if you're watching this live right now, or you watch this on replay, and then you say, okay, what Patrick is doing is pretty dope. I would like to collaborate. I would like to help. Make sure you slide in my DMs. You let me know. You drop your information. I reconnect with you because I cannot grow without you. So remember, this is going to be a collaborative effort. 2 goals, $1 million in revenue, 50,000 new subscribers. My link is in my bio. Go sign up for that newsletter, and then that's going to kind of get us going. So what is this business that we're growing? There's many different businesses you can grow. This business I'm going to grow for you is going to be, we're going to grow a newsletter from zero. I got 4,600 subscribers on LinkedIn, but now there's the heavy task of taking those newsletter subscribers off of LinkedIn, taking them to my off version newsletter, just so we can increase the cadence. Because on LinkedIn, I think I hit them up like maybe once a week where I give you some insight. But now with the off version newsletter, I can give you a lot more detailed play. I can give you a lot more insight, and then I can help you get to that next level so much faster because I'm going to drop tons of gems and tips and tools and all kind of good stuff in there. Some of the things you also see is ad spend. How much money do you spend? Where do you spend the money? What is it designed to do? How do you use that ad spend to grow your audience and things like that? Some of us, we grow in these businesses and we have X amount of dollars to work with, but we're clueless on where we should invest that money, right? So I'll take you through that journey as well. And then a newsletter setup. If you've been thinking about growing a newsletter, right? So I will take you through how do we set up that newsletter? What are some of these automations we create? How do you get people to support your brand so you can grow? We'll talk about collaborations. We'll talk about ad spends. We'll talk about even getting people to pay for ad space in your newsletter so you can grow. How is all that possible? We'll get into that. Just remember, today is just the opening segment of this newsletter. I wanted to let you know who I am, where I'm from, what I'm about, and then what are our goals for 2026. Remember, I can't do this without you. So automations, copyright, all that is important when it comes to building your business, whether you're growing a newsletter or you have a storefront business or you have another online business where you're selling products as well. How you speak to your people determines how well your business performs. Thank you guys for joining. I see a lot of people on TikTok joining. Thank you on my LinkedIn family as well as my YouTube family. And then I got my Facebook family as well. I'll pause really quick. Make sure, the chat box is open. If you have any questions about me or what we're going to get into this year, please drop your comments and I'll try to work through those with you guys as well. So current reality right now, something that you guys need to know. Have I scaled a 7-figure business before? The answer is absolutely no. Have I done it before? No. Have I attempted to do it before? The answer is absolutely no. I've never attempted to do it before. So the question is, why? What makes me think that I can actually do this? Or should I say, have I earned $1 million before? I've actually earned multiple $1 million in personal income before. Remember, I was a former healthcare technology executive. We sold the company at the end of 2018. This is not a flex. This is not me clout. This is what I've done for myself. The moves that I made to permission myself to be in the room to have those opportunities. These are things that I've done. I have a master's degree in business management, and I enjoy leadership. I enjoy talking about leadership. Am I the best leader? Absolutely not. But for me, I think I can do this only because of the confidence that I have for myself, my own personal belief system. Remember, my mom was a hustler. Like she came from shooting craps. That's what she did in the street. How does that convert? Well, she's always had that hustler mentality, that hustler energy. She's no longer with us today, but from that, that's always gave me this belief that I can accomplish anything. So one of the things that I have that I'm grateful for is I have a high level of confidence, right? And that's helped position me and create opportunities for myself. But with that confidence, I'm not trying to be overconfident. What I'm trying to do is let you know that my baseline is confidence. And then from there, one of the things that I do well is I'm able to talk to almost anybody. Like I'm one of those guys, you put me in Walmart and I might as well be a greeter when I'm 82 because I'm going to be perfect for that job. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to greet everybody that comes in. I'm going to know about moms and dad stories. I'm going to know about Thanksgiving meals. In fact, I'm going to be the guy you invite over. Like that's just me and my personality. But I believe I can help scale, or together we can grow and scale a newsletter from $0 in revenue to seven figures, and we're going to do it in 12 months. Okay. So today I have 4,600 subscribers to my newsletter on LinkedIn. I have eight subscribers on my actual offline newsletter, which is titled Hustling 25/8. The link is in my bio, or in the top right corner. You can scan the QR code, and then it'll take you to my newsletter. It has all my contact information in there. Make sure you subscribe to that because that's what we're growing to 50,000 subscribers. I need you to first do that thing right there. Also created a Shopify account back last year, about a year and some change ago. How much money have I made from that Shopify account? $300. I made $300. Why? Only because it hasn't been a huge focus, but I knew there was one piece of revenue that I wanted to pick up along the way, right? So I created that Shopify account knowing that this is going to be a pocketbook play to where I'm going to use that to generate some additional revenue for myself personally. And that's going to add to that $1 million that we're going to create. So right now there's that Shopify account. Also, I have a newsletter set up. It's the offline newsletter. The only thing that it has right now is a landing page and then an about me section, right? I'm in the process of setting up my automations on that, where that cadence, when it gets to you, you can get it first time. Yeah. So I actually could have did all this behind the scenes before I started, but I wanted to start ugly because generally speaking, this is what happens when we're thinking of creating a business for ourselves. We're starting ugly. We have only a little bit of money. We're thinking, how do I navigate this? What do I do first? What resources do I have? How do I use them? What about ad spend? All that comes with creating and setting up a strong seven-figure business. So right there, if you're following me on LinkedIn, I have a little over 30,000 subscribers on LinkedIn that I've built up over the course of, I would say, 17 years. Because I wouldn't say it was a huge focus of mine. You know, I was using my network to create, I was in sales and marketing. So I was using my network to create opportunities for me through companies. But now for the last 2.5 years, when I became an entrepreneur, I started using my network to develop growth opportunities for not only myself, but for other people who look like me as well. So thank you guys for joining Instagram right now. If you're on my Instagram, I have about 70,000 followers on Instagram. All my content is very similar, but we're going to really focus this year on how do we create a bigger impact. YouTube, have an additional 30,000 there on YouTube. And then TikTok is one of my newest ones that I really value TikTok because it seems like a lot of the collaborations on TikTok, man, they just seem a little stronger for whatever reason. But I got about 2,900 followers today on TikTok. So this is my baseline. This is what I'm working with. I've developed and positioned myself to have a strong following across all these different platforms, right? I have a newsletter that needs to be taken offline. And then I have a Shopify store that hasn't been optimized or maximized yet. There's no systems in place for that. So I'm starting from scratch like a lot of people. Here's the other thing that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to be working this year with a $20,000 budget, $20,000. So I'm going to take $20,000 and I'm going to turn it into $1 million, and we're going to do it in 12 months. And when I say you might as well include yourself in there. We're going to do this because I can't do this without you. So thank you guys for joining. Again, chat boxes are open. First name, where you're streaming from, and then slide in my DMs if there's any connections that we need to make after the fact. So this is me. I got a Shopify account. I got a newsletter. We're starting from scratch. And I don't have much knowledge about how to build and grow $1 million business. So hopefully, if this is you and you're interested in this growth opportunity together, well, now I'm going to take you step by step. I'm going to show you the playbook on what I do so we can scale together. So if you want to set up an account as well, that's great. If you just want to watch and learn and be a contributor, that's awesome as well. There's going to be a lot of raffles that I'm going to be doing here in 2026. In fact, this is going to be cool. I have a 1970 Lincoln Continental Mark III, and I got it a few years ago. Actually, I got it before my mom passed away. But I've been so focused on this entrepreneurship. What I'm going to do, I'm going to raffle that baby off. And these tickets are going to be really inexpensive, but I'm going to use that as a revenue generator for the newsletter so we can create more revenue. Now, let me give you the rules here. When you're creating $1 million business from scratch, there's no rules. So a lot of people think we need to play by the rules. We need to do this, that, and the other. There's no rules for creating $1 million business, okay? I'm going to share that with you. There's absolutely no rules for creating $1 million business. So a lot of the things that we are going to need to do is going to be from off the cuff, out of the box, but we're going to be a little bit strategic about it. So crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, all those could be at play, right? Setting up accounts where people can contribute to the hustle, all those are going to be in play. You're going to look at some of the toolkits that I set up that you can invest into. That's going to give you some insight into some of the tools that I'm using, some systems that I'm using. There's going to be an opportunity, and I'm thinking about this. I haven't worked it out yet, but there may be an opportunity for some higher scale opportunity memberships. So we can look at that. And then even though, I come from a leadership background and I love talking about leadership, I'm not necessarily a coach. Like, I'm not certified to be a coach. I just have a lot of hustler energy. I've scaled multiple organizations, former healthcare executive. We sold the organization at the end of 2018 for $750 million. So if you're looking for credibility, been there, done that. I was an executive team member. I was in the room when the acquisition was actually taking place. So that's a little bit of insight about me. And that gives me some of the confidence and mindset to believe that I can actually scale a $1 million newsletter and do it in 12 months. So we're starting from scratch. A Shopify newsletter. Got my LinkedIn. Remember the QR code's top right. You can go in my bio, the About Me section. You can sign up for the newsletter there. And some of the things that we're going to get into is a little bit of everything. How do we scale and grow this baby? Okay. So here's my call to action in the community that I'm building. Thank you guys for joining on TikTok. You guys keep coming in. You keep feeding in. I appreciate you. My LinkedIn family, thank you as well. Love you guys. I love this support. So I want to invite you to the journey. We're going to be on this journey over the next 12 months. This is not a one-day play. If you're one of those people that says, you know what, I need instant gratification, this is probably not the channel for you. But if you believe in investing in yourself, you believe in learning from others, you believe in growing something, you believe in collaborating, you believe in networking, you're in the right spot. So thank you for joining. I want to invite you to join this journey. And I want you to understand, I titled this Hustling 25A because that's what it feels like we're doing every day. It feels like we're hustling all the time. But what I want to help you understand, hustle is no longer a negative word. And if you look at hustle as negative, it's not negative. Hustle is just we're positioning ourselves for the right opportunity, and that requires hustle. That requires the mindset, the understanding to know what rooms I need to be in, what people that I need to connect with, what conversations do I need to have that's going to help me scale another way. So that's what hustle is about. You don't need to hustle forever. You just need to hustle strategically. So we're going to learn how to do that, right? Make sure you follow all of my channels, man. If you follow me on one channel, hit that follow button on all my channels. Today we're streaming on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, as well as Facebook. Follow me on all those channels right there because I would appreciate the support. But more importantly, follow the newsletter, top right-hand corner. The link is in the bio. And then let's see what else we have. So you guys are going to help me shape what each and every live is going to be about. And the way you're going to do this is you're going to submit your questions, in these live chats right there. You drop your comments. You can drop some of the issues that you're having creating your own 7-figure business, and we'll work through some of these as these lives take place. But I will be taking you behind the scenes. I will be doing some screen share. I will share with you my newsletter. I'll share with you the tools that I'm using. I'll show you directly the automations that I'm setting up. I will tell you the impact that they're going to make, and I will show you how that they work collaboratively to help grow a newsletter to 50,000 subscribers and $1 million in revenue. All right. Let me see what else. Questions. If you got any questions, you need to do that now because we're about to wrap up in about 30 seconds right here. Teaser for tomorrow, because I'm going to do this every day. We're going to do this every day, Monday through Friday, right? Only because I want to be visible, only because I want to show you real time what it looks like to grow a newsletter. So tomorrow, I'm thinking about getting into the content calendar and how to repurpose one piece of content like over 10 different times. I may be doing that, or we may be just showing you directly the newsletter itself and then how to build that thing up. Either way it goes, it's going to be a daily build. Again, thank you guys for joining. I'm Patrick Hart, former veteran, former healthcare executive, turned full-time entrepreneur about 3 years ago, and I'm building this for you in mind. I've never done it before. There's a little bit of fear involved in that, which makes me excited because I've never grown my career without fear. And I'm one of those guys. I love facing fear because that helps me grow. Last thing I would say, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate your support. And I'm only going to do this through your continued support. So if you know somebody who thinks like you, who's motivated like you are, who are interested in growing a business like you are, who are interested in generating $1 million in personal income, invite them to the next live that we're going to have. Tomorrow, we're going to do it at the same time. We'll do it at noon Central Time. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we'll do it again tomorrow at noon, and then we'll learn how to build this thing out. Today was only a teaser to get you going, to get you excited about what the future looks like. I'm Patrick Hart. Give me a follow the newsletter, and until next time, let's keep hustling. Talk to you tomorrow.